Did you know that humans have a brain that's like Velcro when it comes to criticism and Teflon when it comes to compliments? It's kind of crazy. We process and focus on negative stimuli much more than positive. We call this a negativity bias, which means that we naturally recall and think about insults more than praise. We dwell on unpleasant and traumatic events more than pleasant ones. It means that we more easily imagine and assume the worst scenario than dream and expect for the best. So if I give you 9 compliments and just 1 bit of negative feedback, what are you going home thinking of? What do you remember? It's the 1. Jules tells how she sat down for her Year 7 maths test and suddenly felt like she didn't know anything. They deliberately set the test hard, figure out where the students were at. She failed that little test with less than 50, and Jules says that from that moment onward, I had this belief that I couldn't do it, that high school maths was too hard for me. I failed once, so I'm always going to fail. My negative mind was so strong, it just took over all other logical thoughts. This is what negativity bias does in a teen. It takes over all other logical thoughts. It draws their focus to weaknesses and ignores their strengths. It makes us see our worst qualities and not our best. It stirs anxiety and fear rather than belief and confidence. An unchallenged negativity bias can sabotage a young person's identity and self-worth. There are 3 things that you can actually do to change it, and this is our challenge today. Number 1, in your home, shift the focus from weaknesses to strengths. Help them identify and know their best qualities. Name and celebrate when they're being responsible, or when they're using their strategic mind, or when they're hardworking and get stuck into it, or creative. By identifying and naming strengths and using positive language, we reinforce positive mental pathways and diminish the normal negativity. Number 2, tune out from media. Fear and negativity sells, and media companies know that they catch attention when they can stir fear or outrage. So our news and feeds are enhancing this negativity bias. I often hear teens say that they worry about the world or about their future, or that there's so much to think about. It can be overwhelming for a young brain. It's trying to figure out, what's safe? Who can I trust? What does the future hold and how am I going to manage? I'm not suggesting to live under a rock, but monitor the percentage of negative messages. This will go a long way in moving toward more positive mental defaults rather than the negativity bias. Number 3 would be to encourage gratitude and positive reflections. One of the best ways to help a teen change their brain is to help them notice what's going right. We sit at our dinner table and ask the kids to name 3 things they're grateful for today. Or what's their favorite part of the day? Or, what went right today? What are the highlights or who was encouraging? You see, we're deliberately trying to counter a negativity default with positive reflections, helping them see that there are loads of things that are great about life. And it's not just our kids who need this. We join in the exercise for our own brain, for our own good. I want to train myself to believe that, we've got so much to celebrate, that we're doing the best we can, that life is good. And maybe you need that too. So today's challenge is to adopt a deliberate positivity as we wage war on the negativity bias. Good luck as you wage war.